Hey guys, it's Lewis here. Welcome to a new video, and today we're talking about Team Penske, and this is the day after the Gateway race. I'm making this. Team Penske has had one of the worst seasons, I'd say, in history with the Indycar program, and it's on its way to being the worst season for them in the 21st century. And quickly, let's go through what happened in the season, driver by driver. We'll start with my favorite driver. We'll start with Will Power. Will Power, first race in St. Petersburg, he took out Siegel and Foster. Obviously his fault, and he finished 26th. He was 6th at Thermal, which was a very good drive. He was 5th at Barber and Long Beach. He podiumed at the IMS road course with the 3rd place. Pit stop on the final pit stop by him netted him a 16th place finish. Finished 4th at Detroit, and yesterday he had a flat right front tire, not even at the end of the first stint, which took him out of 2nd place and made him the last finisher, 27th. Moving on to Scott McLaughlin, he finished 4th at St. Petersburg. At Thermal, Devlin took him out at the race start, and he had hybrid issues, so he finished 27th, and I believe he was 2 laps down. Finished 6th at Long Beach. He finished 3rd at Barber. He finished 4th at the IMS road course. He crashed at the formation lap on the 500. Took out Siegel in Detroit, which netted him a penalty, but he finished 12th. And a rear right issue at Gateway would put him 24th and out of the race. Finally, Joseph Newgarden, who by far out of the Penske drivers had the worst season. He finished 3rd at St. Petersburg, a very good start. He had a belt issue at Long Beach, which put him last, 27, several laps down, I believe. He finished 10th at Barber. He had an issue before the IMS road course race, which put him at the back from a 6th place qualifying position before the race start, and he would rally his way back to 12th. Fuel pump failure at the 500, which I believe stopped him from a certain win. He was by far the fastest guy that day. He could cut through traffic like butter. It was his race to lose. And he finished 22nd. Finished 9th at Detroit. And obviously the crash at Gateway put him 25th. And obviously, that whole listing is not including strategy or whatnot, because if it was including strategy, I'd have to write an audiobook for Will Power alone, because I don't even want to get into Ron Rizzuti. I'm glad he's not on the stand anymore. I mean, I think the whole situation is stupid, but at least he's not on the stand anymore. But this year, we've had the attenuator debacle at the 500, which led to the firing of a higher management. 2 crucial things that happened this season. If we look in the standings right now, after Gateway, the 8th race of the season, Will Power 7th, Scott McLaughlin's 8th, and Joseph Newgarden is 16th with a combined 125 laps led, which is lower than Palou himself. At this point last year, Will Power broke his win drought at Road America, and that would put him to top of the standings. McLaughlin would be 5th, and Newgarden would be 8th. And currently, where we sit right now, this is developing to be the worst season, as I said, in the 21st century, and their worst season since 1999. You can't really compare the two, because 1999, Al Unser Jr., Little Al, who didn't even do the whole season and missed a few races, he finished 21st. And that was the highest placing Penske car. They didn't win a race, they didn't finish on the podium, their best finish was a 5th place. And 1999 is ironic to me, because it was the first year Team Cindric became the head of Team Penske. He turned the team around. Within 2 years, they'd start a stretch of 3 consecutive Indy 500 wins. They would kickstart a streak in 2000 where the highest finishing Penske in the championship would not finish less than 5th. A streak which is currently set to be broken, as there is no Penske's in the top 5. And I believe the firing of Tim Cindric will go down as one of the worst moves in racing history. Maybe some of you guys won't understand, Maybe I'll do a separate video on it. But Tim Cindric literally resurrected Team Penske. Penske hadn't won in 3 years, I believe, at the point he joined in '99, and obviously they didn't win in '99 either. They had their own chassis, which wasn't working out, and they had an aging Alonso Jr. who was losing the will to drive. There was no stability in the second driver lineup. Their last win was the end of Paul Tracy's 3 in a row in the mid-90s. Tim Cindric, what did he do? Before that 2001 Indy 500, which was their first 500 since the split, he ran a pseudo Team Penske team so they could learn how the Indy 500 would be ran when they brung their own team. He did that. The next year, what did they do? 1-2. Castroneves won, which is Team Penske's first 500 win in nearly a decade at that point. And they went on, as I said, they went on to three-peat. They didn't finish, the highest placing driver didn't finish lower than 5th in the standings. And this is a part of the reason why so many people see Penske as the top, as the peak. Team Penske is the best. And the firing of Tim Cindric hasn't brought anything good to the team so far. Yes, okay, Newgarden had a chance to win the 500. Power and McLaughlin made errors that put them out of contention. But since then, Detroit wasn't half bad. Power could have won in Detroit, something I thought was mission critical as a Power fan. But it was looking good at Gateway. Penske are always good at Gateway. Power put it on the pole. McLaughlin second. Newgarden's 5th. We all know how good Newgarden is at Gateway. He took the lead by lap 104, which is late for his standards. But considering Gateway was meant to be the Team Penske resurgence, and the highest placing Team Penske is 24th coming out of that race, there's nothing good that's happened bar Gateway qualifying since Tim Cindric's been fired. And I'm afraid we'll see this route to the rest of the season and possibly beyond. Well, that's just my 2 cents. If you agree or disagree in the comment section below, let me know. This is Lewis, signing out.